G'day guys, how are you going? Welcome to this expression episode. Today I'm going to do the expression for you to tinker away or just to tinker. And I mentioned this phrase in a recent episode that I uploaded for you guys. And Estefania from Spain asked me if I could do an episode on to tinker away or just to tinker with, to tinker. So here we are. If you guys have any expressions, any sayings, any idioms, any grammatical issues, pronunciation issues, any kind of English issue that you would like me to do an episode on in the future, make sure you send me a message or comment below, because I'm going to try and turn this around and focus in on you guys and try and do as much as I can that you guys asked for specifically. So I'm going to put you guys first from now on. Anyway, before we get started, I've got some good news. I bought some gadgets recently, some gadgets. And gadgets are like little devices, little computer technology, machinery, gadgets. I've got here a lapel mic that I can plug into my phone and put here to talk. And I also have a directional microphone that I bought that I just plug in to the side of my phone. And so I thought I would start this episode, obviously, just using my phone without any microphone plugged in. It's just using the normal phone microphone. And I thought I'll plug this in while we are recording so that you can see the difference. So let me just see here. There, we're plugged in. And hopefully, I'll have to check after I've recorded this. Hopefully the sound is better. Anyway, without any further ado, let's dive right into the episode, guys. So to tinker away, or just to tinker with something, to tinker away at something, you can say to tinker away at an activity, so something you're doing. If you're tinkering away, you could be repairing something, playing with something. I'll define it in a sec. But yeah, to tinker away with an activity or at an activity, or to tinker with something. So the definition of to tinker is to busy oneself, to occupy oneself, to be busy with something and to be making subtle changes, to be making adjustments, so to adjust something, to attempt to repair something. But ultimately, you're doing this without any real skill in that field, in that area. So you don't know how to repair these things, but you're trying to anyway. You're tinkering with the device, with whatever it is that you're trying to repair. And you could also say that it's kind of in a clumsy, unskillful way with no real results. And so you can also use tinker in the form of a noun. So not only can you use it as a verb to tinker with something or to tinker away at something, but you can also have a tinker with something. And that means to fiddle with something, to try and adjust it. A tinker is like an adjustment, a fiddle, a play. It's that noun, it's that idea of the action that you're doing. So if I go and have a tinker with my car, I'm going out to my car and I'm having a fiddle, I'm having a play, I'm adjusting things, I'm trying to repair it with no real result. Whereas if I use it as a verb, I can say that I am going to tinker with the car, or I'm going to the car and I'm tinkering away with trying to repair the car. So that's to tinker, the verb and the noun. A bit of background, where did to tinker come from? To tinker apparently is, or a tinkerer, back in the old days, I would never use this phrase anymore, but a tinkerer was someone who mended kettles and pots and pans, so things that you cooked with, and this was back in the mid 1300s onwards, so 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, back when it was obviously incredibly important to be able to repair those kinds of objects that everyone used in their houses to cook with. And so it was also a surname, I think Tinkeray, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it dates back to Middle English in the 1200s and onwards. And so surnames in English quite often reveal to some extent what that original family did as a job. And so if their surname was Tinker or Tinkeray, these are probably the people who first started to make themselves known for mending kettles, pots and pans, and that's where the verb came from, tinker, and the noun came from a tinker. So let's just get straight into some examples of how I would use this phrase or how I would use this word, this noun. So imagine that your grandfather is like really intensely interested in clocks, old antique clocks. So he collects them. Maybe they're not always in mint condition. Maybe they're not always perfect. They don't work very well. And he has no real training in how to repair these things. But all the same, he likes to play around with the clocks and the mechanisms in the clocks. He likes to fiddle with them. You could say he likes to tinker with his clocks. He likes tinkering with his clocks. He likes to go and have a tinker with his clocks on weekends. You know, it's his hobby is just to play with the clocks, to adjust them. Maybe some of them are broken and he tries to repair them. He likes to tinker with clocks. Another example could be that you are a mechanic and you love building cars. So you may not necessarily be a mechanic in the sense that it is your career, but say it's your hobby. You've always loved cars, you love building cars from scratch, you love making the engines and then finally getting the car on the road and going for a drive. It's your passion. You've got a garage at home with all your tools on the walls, you know, you've got oil pans on the ground to catch the oil if it starts leaking from the cars. Anytime that you go into the garage to build your car, to try and repair the cars, to fiddle with the engine, to make adjustments, anytime you go in there and have a play, have a fiddle, you could say that you're having a tinker. So there's the noun, to have a tinker. You're tinkering with the car. You're having a tinker with the car, the engine, parts of the car, whatever it is that you're fiddling with, you could say you're having a tinker with it. Or you could use it as a verb and you could say, I am tinkering with the car. I am tinkering with the engine. I'm tinkering with the parts. I'm having a play. I'm having a fiddle. The third example could be that, say, you're at home, you're trying to cook one day and you've got the dishes in the dishwasher running, they're cleaning, the water's going inside the dishwasher, and all of a sudden you hear some clunking and then the dishwasher stops working. And your dad runs out and he's like, I got this, I'll fix it, it's fine. He gets in behind the dishwasher, pulls it out, tries to get in there and have a fiddle to see if he can fix the dishwasher and get it to keep working again, obviously. And maybe he wants to do this because he wants to save money and not have to pay for a repairman to come out, because it's expensive to pay a repairman to come out and fix the dishwasher. Maybe he's afraid he's going to be told, you're going to have to buy a new dishwasher. This one's kaput, it's broken. And so he gets in behind the dishwasher and he has a tinker, or he's tinkering away behind the dishwasher. He's trying to repair things. He's trying to find the problem. He's having a fiddle with the dishwasher. He's playing around. He's adjusting things. He's hoping that he finds the fault or the problem, but ultimately he has no skill when it comes to repairing dishwashers, and it's a clumsy kind of effort to try and fix it with no real result. And so that's when you can say he's tinkering away. As he's doing it, he's tinkering away, or he's having a tinker behind the dishwasher trying to fix it. So that's example number 3, to tinker with the dishwasher, or to have a tinker with the dishwasher. So a fourth example here I've got is, imagine that your government is trying to set up a really nice healthcare system, and so it implements some kind of strategy initially to try and improve the healthcare system of the country, but it's unsatisfied with the initial setup and it keeps making changes to how the healthcare system that they have implemented is set up, how much things cost, how much funding it's getting, how many people are hired and working in this area, whatever it is. If they keep making changes, in terms of this, it's not a machine, it's not a device or a gadget, it's a a system, some kind of setup that is not necessarily a physical thing, if they keep making those adjustments, they keep playing around with how it's set up, they keep fiddling with it, you could say they're tinkering with it. So they're playing with it, they're trying to fix it, they don't really know what they're doing ultimately, they're just trying to make changes and then hope that things work better, or that they repair, that they get better, that they work more efficiently. So then you could say that the government is tinkering with their healthcare system strategy. They're having a tinker with it, they're playing with it, they're not really sure what they're doing, it's a little unskillful, it's a little clumsy, and so they're having a tinker with it. All right, so those are all the examples. By now I'm sure you're getting the idea. You probably understand how to use the verbs to tinker with something, and to tinker away at something. I haven't looked up the specific reason that English speakers use away, and so at the moment when I try and explain this, it's just off the top of my head. I'm just thinking of it as I make this video. But I think whenever you do something and then have away after the verb, so if you're working away, if you're running away, not in the sense of escaping, but you're running a lot, it's that idea of you're in the process of doing it. So if you're tinkering away with something, it means that when someone says you're tinkering away with it, you're in the process of doing it right then and there. So when someone's saying that, you're literally doing it. You're in the process of tinkering away. So it means you're tinkering away. So what else is another example? I'm working away at my podcast at the moment. I'm working away, I'm talking away because I'm currently talking. If I'm tinkering away, if I was fiddling with the camera and trying to do stuff right now in the video, you could say I was tinkering away with the camera, with the microphone. So that's that sort of idea of you're literally doing it as we speak. You're in the process of doing it. That is when you'll add away after verbs like to tinker away, to work away, to talk away, to play away, to run away. In that sense, it means to be doing it right then and there. All right, so you've got the idea of what to tinker away with something or to tinker away at something is, and to tinker with something. And so as usual, we can dive straight into the substitution exercise, or the exercise that I love to give you guys at the end of these episodes. This is the first time I've done this one on video, so hopefully it's not too boring. And the good aspect, I guess, is that if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't like these exercises, or you want to find specific sentences in them, you can skip forward or skip over it completely. So let's just get started, guys. And in this substitution exercise, I want you guys to switch the verb to fiddle that I'm going to have in different sentences with the verb to tinker, or the noun to tinker. So I'm going to have fiddle in the sentence, the first one that I say, and then tinker in the second one. And I want you to switch the word fiddle with the appropriate version or conjugation of tinker. So let's get started. Stop fiddling with the engine and take it to get repaired. Stop tinkering with the engine and take it to get repaired. He keeps fiddling with his broken watch. He keeps tinkering with his broken watch. Grandad loves fiddling with his antique clocks. Grandad loves tinkering with his antique clocks. I'm going to go have a fiddle with my car. I'm going to go have a tinker with my car. He's having a fiddle with his clocks. He's having a tinker with his clocks. You're having a fiddle with your computer. You're having a tinker with your computer. She's fiddling away with her broken earring. She's tinkering away with her broken earring. We're fiddling away with our new laptop. We're tinkering away with our new laptop. They want to fiddle away with their broken radio. They want to tinker away with their broken radio. He's going to fiddle with it for a while. He's going to tinker with it for a while. Alright guys, I guess that's all there is to it for this episode. This has been a pretty long one. I hope you like the video aspect of it for you guys who are more visual based and love seeing people talk, seeing people do gestures, seeing my reactions. I hope also for those who like the podcast episodes that it's also good. Let me know what you think of the new mic. Is the audio better? Is it improved? Do you like it? Also, if you guys have expressions, verbs, pronunciation issues, any aspects of English that you guys would like me to do an episode on for you in order to help you improve your English, definitely let me know in a comment or a message. I'll design it like I do these episodes. I'll go through the definition of the words or the grammatical themes, and then I'll go through how I would use them in certain contexts, and then I'll also go through some substitution exercises. And that's the whole point. The whole point of me being here is to help you guys with the problems that you have. So don't be afraid to come and send me a message, comment on Facebook, whatever it is. Let me know what you're having an issue with at the moment and how I can help you improve your English. Until next time, guys, I'm wishing you all the best. See you later.